we were misled.
We are strangers. We are scholars, studying our enemies, so we can hit them where it hurts. We are ghosts. We are adventurers, doing what no one else dares.
We were misled.
This is wrong. And while our government has now declared that it has given up the concept of right and wrong, you and I have not and will not do so.
Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. But if you give him a mask, he will tell you the truth.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
Well, you've heard of the hacker group that calls itself Anonymous. They're hacking activists, Wall Street occupiers. They love them. Corporate security hates them, and the FBI is tracking them down. So who are these people?
As a collective of autonomous individuals, we have no leaders who dictate the methods of resistance. Therefore, some of us are indeed hackers who use our skills to make critical information available to the public. Some of us research news that corporate media ignores or distorts. Some of us organize protests and rallies.
Being anonymous simply means that one values and principles of freedom, the defense of it, and the pursuit for it. We are ordinary people concerned with the state of this world. We are your neighbors, your friends, your family. We are your mailmen, store clerks, business professionals, veterans, and military personnel. And united as this one idea we call anonymous, we desire a change. A change that is for once in the better interests of the people of this world.
Anonymous. We are citizens of the world who bear witness to tyranny, oppression, and censorship. We are activists who seek to change the system and end the cycle of corruption. We seek to create transparency in governments and all institutions.
I like to politicize the Anonymous. I think it's good because they're very good at spreading the word. Their in-house PR is amazing.
Yes.
So anything that they get involved with usually gets picked up, and I think this would have been ignored by the media until Anonymous.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Tonight on CNN Presents Anonymous. They live in the shadows.
This is the closest thing to a global revolution that we have ever gotten.
But their message and tactics have ignited a movement around the world. Look inside the shadowy group's secret.
I may very well be there. Of course, I'll be wearing a mask.
This isn't a joke, and the media would be well advised to take these folks seriously. Their grievances are real, their numbers are growing, and the rest of us would be well advised to start paying attention.
Today we act. Today we send a message to them and everybody else. We are taking back our futures.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations.
A world where riot police attack with impunity.
What happened? He got shot.
Where democracy is corrupted by greed and dissent is crushed. That's how Anonymous sees America. And they say that's why they're fighting back.
We were misled that there was supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact. And the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due, the fact is, we had 4 dead Americans.
We were misled that there was supposedly protests, and then we were misled.
What difference at this point does it make?
Beyond the US, protesters are holding a day of coordinated action in cities across the world.
We must arise not violently but insistently. General strikes, boycotts, protests, sit-ins, non-cooperation, takeovers.
A global outcry against corporate greed has risen up in almost 1,000 cities worldwide. People have taken their anger to the streets.
This is our state!
A loose collective born on the internet, Anonymous has no official members and no hierarchy. Instead of gunpowder,
We are everyone,
Anonymous
and we are no
uses
one.
the internet.
None of us are as powerful as all of us.
Anonymous was evolving, using its power to shock and disrupt to affect social
Spread
change,
this message like the
literally
plague.
saving lives.
They did everything from take down government websites. They wrote scripts to stop the phishing of passwords. They brought massive media attention.
Shadowy internet group known as Anonymous has grown now far beyond its hacker roots. It's now emerging as a forceful weapon for the Occupy protest movement.
I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
Fellow people who are still not making the choice to free themselves from their own slavery. You must understand you do have a choice. If someone else says you do not have a choice, guess what? You do have a choice. You have a choice to be a slave to the system, or be free from the system. And your reproduction of children making them slaves to start out with the system you brought them, and then allowing these crooks to take away your children's freedoms and future away from them. The system is very corrupt, and if you do not believe it, do your own research. And Anonymous tries time and time again to open your eyes, and yet you keep falling away from what is truly real.
since we fight only for the benefit for humanity, while these crooks work to destroy you. Your governments are the true terrorists, and what are you going to do about them, that are eventually going to destroy you? What is your plan? How are you going to fight them? People, you will not be able to fight them in violence. We have to fight this in a peaceful manner, and the way to destroy them, and the way to do that is this plan we have developed and will work. Open your mind on things and get out of your ignorance. Quit the drugs you are placed on that is only destroying your brain and your ability to think critically. Start up local business and grow community gardens and set up community barns. Go back to the older way of living, excluding leaders ruling over you like kings and queens, and work with each other. Stop working for big business and big corporations. Develop community banks to protect your currency, and do not put your money to private banks. Educate others about history and tell the truth. Arm yourselves from criminals who seek to steal or create chaos in your community. Create local organizations and a cottage factory for production of products you create to trade from community to community in your country. Develop a free energy source generated by purely magnets, and live off-grid for your own benefit. And here's how you can do it. To power a one-story house, you will need wires, of course, 16-car batteries, 8-car alternators, a 5-horsepower fan, and a belt, and start up the fan. You got everlasting energy for about 100 years, and that is plenty for your own home off-grid. Start local grocery stores and inventing new ways to help your community to advance. Create local and community schools to educate your children off the system, and that way they will learn the right way. Get out of the major cities and find urban and rural lands to start over. Your governments do not want you to do it. This is the only way, as planned in the middle of this speech, that will free your own slavery, and you will live in a system of anarchism. Anarchy does not mean chaos and mayhem. If you want to know what we are talking about of anarchism and its meaning, we have a video on our channel titled Anonymous. Anarchy is not what you were led to believe, and that way you will be understanding what we are coming from. Yes, this is a primitive way of living, and it has worked time and time again. This plan will save humanity from the destruction your government has planned for your demise. If you want to be free, follow the efforts of Anonymous that is showing you the way, and we have been doing this. Hackasec Legion. Greetings, humanity from all around our planet Earth. We are the collective. We are united as one globe, divided by none. We are working very hard to repel oppression, corruption, and crime against humanity, in order to bring peace and harmony everywhere. We see that there are so many who are too afraid to fight back against the corrupted paid by corporations. People like the police and soldiers, who choose to be brutal against their own people, and that goes on every day. Well, guess what? The corrupted are no match against the people, who are not afraid to defend themselves. We have the ultimate rights to defend ourselves, even from the police and soldiers. Do not be afraid of them, the people. Are you, and you, are us. We are the ultimate power that not even their worst nightmares could possibly match. Imagine the time of your life of a specific event that pissed you off more than whatever has before. If the police or a soldier brings you harm, think about that specific event and just pretend that the police or soldiers are the cause of that event, and use that as a weapon to make you brave and bold. Remember, we do not use violence. We do not promote invasion of other people.
We do not promote vandalism, nor brutality, lies, and bloodshed. We only promote non-violence, peace and harmony. We are here to fight against injustice, clarifying the truth, stand by you and help humanity on the right track. You are the resistance, and you are the hero, no matter who you are. You are humanity, with a strong heart, a brave mind, and an unbreakable soul. Do not lose hope. Use whatever you can to keep you in motion, for we are the courage that can, and will save this world. We have brought strength and resilience to the people, to help to do only the right thing, without fear, and without any more conflict. Do not let fear control you, for that is the weapon that the federal government and corporations use to control the masses. The corrupt fear us, because we are uniting humanity and spreading the truth everywhere and every day. The lies and brutality is just as useless as the corrupted are useless themselves. Please do not, without a single thought or doubt, trust the government and the globalist elites, for they are the leaders of all corruption. We do not need leaders, and we do not need any slaves of any kind whatsoever. We have made an oath to help and defend the people, and this is us now, doing both. The corruption is a vice, and we are the cure. We will correct the mistakes that have been spread on our world like a virus, and we will no longer tolerate this virus from closing in. Remember these words, and use them to help you carry on, bringing justice worldwide. The earth and the people will be safe, because we have chosen to actively awaken the masses, as well as protecting others from all forms of threat and harm. Not because of any sort of payment or prizes, but because we care about you and the world. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. To the corrupted dictators, expect us. The United States government has been working to end the Constitution because it has been bought by corporations, and this will endanger the American people. We will not stand by and watch while this government that are controlled by corporations of deception rips away from all of us the freedoms that our forefathers granted us, freedoms that were fought for, bled for, that our ancestors died for. We must ensure that blood was not shed in vain, that their lives were indeed lost for a great nation that is not yet lost. We refuse to let the United States government destroy our way of life. The United States government insists on labeling us as terrorists. The question is, who do we terrorize? Is it probable that the United States government is truly afraid of we, the people? Nevertheless, the time for action is now. It is time to remind the government that we, the American people, are the ones who hold the power of this country, not them. The American people have realized that the current government is no longer functional. Our economy is unstable. Our representatives are uncooperative, and our system destroyed. For years, voting has been useless. Corporations and lobbyists are the true leaders of this country, and are the ones with the power that are controlling our way of being. To rebuild our government, we must first destroy it. Our time for democracy is now. Our time for resolution is now. This is America's time for revolution. To restore our constitutional rights, to once again be free. Therefore, Anonymous, along with the American people, have decided to openly declare war on the United States corporate-controlled government. This is a call to arms. We call upon the citizens of the United States to stand beside us in overthrowing this corrupted body and call upon a new era. We refuse to be a police state. We refuse to be brutalized and dehumanized by the very people our tax dollars fund to protect our cities and streets. We will not allow the government to control our destiny, our right to build a life for ourselves. We demand freedom from government control, taxation, repossession, and death. You will not come to our doors to take our guns and our property. You will not force the citizens of this great country to participate in the unlawful act of government-mandated health care. We the people refuse to put in your control our food, our water, our health, our bodies, our minds, and our lives. We will not grant permission for the government to deploy drones over our homes and communities. We must end the Federal Reserve. A private central bank should not issue our currency, set interest rates, and run over our economy. Rather, we need to return control over the currency to the American people where it belongs. You, the United States government, have overstepped your privileges for the last time. Our peaceful actions, patience and restraint have been demonstrated, and we watched and waited for our Congress and representatives to speak for the American citizens, to protect us from the tyrants that sits in the Oval Office and happily strips the American people of their rights with every new executive orders. We have waited long enough. The Declaration of Independence establishes the supremacy of the people and the right and duty to defend the rights of the people over the acts of the government. Our Constitution provides for as many protections as possible to ensure that the government is subservient to the people and only exists for the purpose of serving the people. However, should these protections fail, it is up to the people to rise up against the government and put the government back in its place. In this capacity, the people act as the fourth branch of government, to take control and to override their decisions that violate the fundamental rights of the people's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By what means do the people exercise their authority over the government? That depends on how resistant the government is to complying with the will of the people. In the case of the Declaration of Independence, it meant declaring war on the government and overthrowing them. This is obviously a last resort, after taking other steps less harsh. Have we not tried? It is clearly the right and the duty of the American people to overthrow the government in order to restore the United States as a government to serve the people. This is clearly established in historical precedent. This is that time. We have exhausted every option. Our government has ignored us. Now it's the time for our government to restart. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. To the now corporate-controlled government, expect us.